Negotiation. That was Nancy Pelosi just moments ago, the House Speaker, telling reporters there will not be any wall money whatsoever in the spending deal that bipartisan committee can come up with. Joining us now, Congressman Mike Waltz, a Republican from Florida who serves on the House Armed Services Committee. I find it interesting that she uses the word negotiation, because usually negotiation means that two sides come to the middle. Nancy Pelosi just now obviously painting a very grim picture for the president's wall, saying that there is no money to be allotted for that. She talks about opening new ports of entry and all these other things, which don't seem like a solution. So at this point, there's no movement for any kind of compromise.
Yeah, and let's contrast with that. I think the president has been very reasonable. In his speech last Saturday, he stepped aside from the wall rhetoric and said, if you want to call it a barrier, fence, steel slat, whatever you want to call it, but we have all on both sides of the aisle voted for this for years, the Secure Fences Act in 2006, which Clinton, Obama, and Schumer all voted for. I mean, come on. Like, let's get away from these rhetorical games. The president is trying to compromise here. He is reaching out. And last week we heard just radio silence while people were suffering, federal workers were suffering. And now we're back to Speaker Pelosi saying, I'm not going to give you a dollar before or after the shutdown. All of them said, we will negotiate once we reopen the government. The president stepped forward on that too, and now this is what we get.
The president tweeted today, let's just call them walls from now on and stop playing political games. A wall is a wall, because you just mentioned, steel slats had come up. The Democrats have also said that maybe they could have some sort of smart wall, which is a bit ridiculous if you think about the fact that a smart wall obviously is not a barrier. Yeah. So, I mean, that's no better than, let's say, a fence you put around the backyard to keep your dog in your backyard. Right. The dog could easily just walk through that fence.
Well, like you just said, that's ridiculous. We do need a full system. We need judges, we need agents, we need technology, we need ports of entry, and we need barriers where they make sense. And again, the president said where CBP is asking for them in strategic locations. That is all just common sense. But what we're seeing here is political games and, pandering to the left and not wanting to give this president an inch.
Okay, but Mitch McConnell,
I think that's just ridiculous.
Mitch McConnell is steadfast that the government is not going to shut down again. I mean, he has made it very clear he does not like shutdowns. We just had our longest shutdown in history. So then if the Democrats are refusing to come forward, Lindsey Graham last night on Hannity said, essentially, if he doesn't get this wall, there goes his campaign for 2020. I mean, this is everything for this president. So then where does this leave us? Another government shutdown, or the Republicans having to fold, because it doesn't look like the Democrats are going to?
Yeah, I appreciate where Senator McConnell is. I don't like shutdowns either. I didn't take pay and I stayed here. But at the end of the day, the president has to sign the bill. That's our system. That's our democracy. And if he's saying he's not going to sign anything without some type of funding for barriers, which he has said he is willing to give on. And by the way, who's really losing here that he also extended a hand on is the DACA recipients and legal reform, which has also apparently been dropped from the table. So I think this is just really unfortunate. Let's cut a deal. Compromise can't be a dirty word. I'm certainly willing to talk to anyone. Seems the president is too. And let's let these folks, let's let the committee that is working this out do their job.
Okay, I just want to switch gears real quick before I let you go. Mitch McConnell's plan, he's going to go against President Trump on Syria and Afghanistan and the drawdown in those two countries. The GOP to vote today on an amendment apparently that would warn against a precipitous withdrawal of troops from either of those countries. Yeah. He says that it could, quote, put at risk hard-won gains and United States national security. I want your take on that.
Yeah, so look, I want to see us stay on offense. In order to do that, we have to have a small presence that's there. We're not talking hundreds of thousands. I want to keep our foot on ISIS's neck. I am absolutely convinced they will be resurgent if we leave. The Turks don't care about ISIS. They care about the Kurds, and they don't have the capability to do so. That said, on this intelligence issue, look, intelligence has been wrong many times. Think George Tenet and the slam dunk. The president has the right to question, and we all should question the intelligence community. It's a series of best guesses. Right. But what I don't like is doing it in public. At the end of the day, when we're looking abroad, particularly with the enemies that we have out there, we're all Americans. Let's keep that in-house if we have disagreements.
All right. Congressman Mike Waltz, great to see you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks so much.